Hi there, my name is Merrick Carlisle Caulfels. I'm 20 years old. I go to a small liberal arts college in Western Massachusetts, and I'm a graduate of the class of 2009 from Oliver Ames High School. I love Easton. When I tell people at school about where I grew up, I may joke about it being in the woods or being suburbia, but I can't speak highly enough about my time growing up there. It's just a perfect location. It's like 25 minutes from both Boston and Providence, but more than that, it has that great small town New England feel. And part of that is the people who live there. People who have lived there for multiple generations. I myself am a second generation Eastonite. My mother graduated from OA in the class of 78 and her sister in the class of 79. They both did color guard and flag team with the marching band, just like I have done and just like my sister has done and my youngest sister plans on doing. I spent my 4 years at OA playing lacrosse, starting varsity goalie for 4 years. During my time there, we made it to the state tournament the only 2 times in the history of the program. 2008, I received the Most Improved Player Award, and 2009, I graduated as Most Valuable Player for the season. Some of my proudest moments have been wearing those Tiger colors, but in recent days, there have been some more controversy over the use of colors at Oliver Ames. For the graduating class of 2012, the robes to be worn at graduations are not going to be the traditional class colors, but instead just the plain black instead of, cycling the colors every 4 years. I think it's a good idea, as the colors are always kind of like awkward and hokey. They never made a whole ton of sense why my class was green and white if our school colors were orange and black. The college I attend, we graduate in black. I think it looks a lot better, and I think it seems a lot classier. But apparently not everyone feels that way. In particular, members of the Easton community who are not members of the class of 2012. You see, at an assembly Principal West Paul held with the members of the senior class, it was mentioned that this change was for everyone to feel more comfortable, including members of the student body who identified as part of the LGBT community. I have several friends still at OA from my time as president of the Gay Straight Alliance, so I know that there are members of the student body who identify as transgender, meaning that their bodies do not correspond with the gender that they feel they are truly in their hearts and souls, as well as other queer people who may feel more comfortable wearing a different color than the one assigned to them. While this is an extremely progressive idea and decision on the part of the school committee, not everyone agrees with it. Again, I refer to the members of the East community who have been here for generations, people we refer to as townies. Oliver Ames has always been a school of great tradition. We love our girls' soccer, we love our football team, and we love our Tiger pride. But it is this love for long-standing tradition that is being used as a facade for some small-mindedness and blatant intolerance. Just like a transgender member of the senior class is now being used as the scapegoat for these changes because of the mention of the LGBT community. All over Facebook, people are posting ignorant and politically incorrect statements regarding my friend, the said scapegoat, and writing it off as upholding 80 years old tradition of class colors. Comments have been posted with ignorant misuse of pronouns, slandering a brave young person they don't even know, and questioning what bathroom said student uses, for example. I have never been more disappointed in my life. OA has always seemed like a relatively accepting community. I spoke to the entire student body my senior year as president of the GSA and as a LGBT ally about LGBT rights. And I was only met with positive responses, people coming up to me promising to never use terms that slandered gays or queers ever again. But the majority of these posts aren't made by students. These posts are coming from adults, and that makes me fear for the LGBT community at Oliver Ames. If we put even half as much energy into providing a safe, nurturing, and tolerant environment for the children in our schools as we do preserving traditions for just the sake of preserving traditions, think of the difference we would make for students of Oliver Ames. Not just this one individual being used as a scapegoat, but for many. One of my biggest fears about this bigotry that is on the rise surrounding the graduation gown decision is that the press that might come down on the school. How will that affect the students, specifically the transgendered students? We all have seen the news reports of what this sort of negative press and bullying can push kids to do, specifically kids identified with the LGBT community. Also, what kind of example are these adults setting for the students of OA? We can all see their Facebook walls, we can all see what they're posting, including their children and students. I am proud to say that I am an OA Tiger. I was a student, I was an athlete, I even returned as a coach. I hang those jerseys on my wall, right there, with Tiger pride. But this turn of events scares me, not only as a decent human being, but as a trans man myself. If this is how my birthplace reacts to something so small as what people who aren't even related to them are going to wear on graduation day for a total of maybe 2 hours before they go to dinner with their families, what will I face when I graduate college and enter the real world? It's time for change, and I applaud the Easton School Committee and Principal Paul for their progressive open-mindedness. And to those of the Oliver Ames community and student body who have been negatively affected by this debacle, I offer you my support and I admire your courage. You are stronger than this. You are brave enough to be yourself in the face of this bigotry. I love each and every one of you, and you will always find an ally in me. Thank you.